So,
Des is here in spirit form, or
literally spirit form.
okay, now.
Warning: the Balls Deep podcast may contain language unsuitable for younger or more sensitive viewers. We swear, sometimes quite often.
So welcome to the CBNPC TV podcast, where we're going to talk Airsoft, other random shenaniga, and shit that happens when you play an Airsoft. It's just an Airsoft podcast.
Okay, that's fine.
It's going to be cool.
It's all relatable.
So we're going to break it down into a few
sections.
We're going to do a brief news section where we talk about something new that's coming in Airsoft. Then we're going to go into the main topic and then read through some questions. If you do have any questions, leave them in the comments below. We'll draw them from something and answer them as we go through the podcasts. So this is episode 4. Today it's me and Elliot.
How do?
And we've actually got a proper setup this time. We're not just talking directly to a GoPro with a Zoom H1 just in between us.
Yeah, this almost looks professional.
Kind of getting there, isn't it?
I don't want to touch that in case it's like...
Yeah, so straight on with the news.
Okay, go for it. What have we got?
Pardon me, burps.
Because
again.
I'm really terrible for staying up to date with anything, so this is going to be genuinely educational for me right now.
So am I. Like, unless it's something really exciting, like the AA12 or whatever.
Yeah.
I was generally just not paying any attention and just really crap with Airsoft news. But I thought, because we're doing a podcast, we should probably have some kind of news section.
Yep.
So I actually went back to airsoftnews.eu after about 6 years of not visiting that website. Because I seem to remember a while back it got hacked or something.
Right.
I can't remember, so I just stopped going to it. So I scoured around all the Airsoft news websites and found one or two things.
So what's hot in the world of Airsoft?
The first thing I found, which I think is quite exciting, because I use mid-cap magazines. You use high-caps, don't you?
Mid-cap wanker.
Okay, right. So anybody who uses high-caps, this isn't going to be very interesting to you, but I was going to print this off and look really professional with a piece of paper, but I completely forgot.
You just look like a news anchor, it's fine.
Anyway,
so... the news. News anchor would have worked. Carry on.
News wank. I forgot to mention, I'm probably going to swear quite a lot in this.
Yeah, sorry, I should have.
Because the last 3 episodes, me and Des were, I nearly said it again.
Yeah.
Me and Des were fucking here, we're fucking there, swearing our little heads off. A few people were saying it's a bit too sweary, so we might want to give a warning.
Okay.
So there's probably going to be a visual warning at the beginning of this, but there's your audible warning. If you don't like swearing, I am going to try and curb it, so I can't promise anything. So the news, Speedloaders. The Odin Innovations M12 Sidewinder Speedloader. It's designed primarily for M4 midcaps.
Okay.
And it's got an internal reservoir of 1,600 rounds. I'm going to put an image of the fucking thing right away. My God. I'm going to put an image of it right over us now so you can get an idea of what it is. But basically...
What's it called?
The Odin...
Whilst you're describing it to me.
It's the Odin M12 Sidewinder. So basically, it's got like an M4 magwell on the bottom that you clip your magazine into.
All right.
And it locks in like an M4 magazine well would. And then it's got this big handle on the side that you just wind. And every wind, I believe, puts like 12 or 13 rounds into your magazine.
That's pretty cool.
So by the time you wind it like 5 times, 6 times, your mag's getting close to full. And it looks pretty cool. 1,600 round internal reservoir, and it apparently is the size of 2 M4 magazines, I believe.
Yeah, looks about that.
So you can carry it in a pouch if you... See, I don't get this. Why would you carry... If you're carrying mid-caps and you don't like things rattling, why would you put a massive speed loader in your pocket, in your pouch?
Why don't you just do high caps? Sorry, I know this is an argument for later, but why don't you just do high caps? You can be all mid-cap, or I'm milsim, I'm mincing.
You're mincing.
You're mincing with your mid-caps.
See, I made the change over to mid-caps mentally when I got my MP7, because it came with like a shitload of mid-caps.
Yeah, okay.
And the high cap I got with it was dog shit. So from then on, I was kind of playing with mid-caps and carrying like 10 pistol magazines with me anyway. So I've kind of got used to the mindset of not having a lot of ammo. But then when I switched back to my own 4 and I had my high caps, it just didn't quite feel right.
Really?
So when I bought the L22, it came with like 720 round mid-cap mags. And when I sold it, I kept those and sold all my high caps with it.
Right, okay.
It's going to come in at about $59.95. That's in US dollars, because I haven't been able to find this anywhere in the UK yet. Evic do it and Red Wolf do it, and it's around $60. But it does seem like a really cool innovation. You just slap your magazine in, wind it, and
Yeah,
separate.
it does sound pretty cool. Oh,
That'll be your pizza.
that will
Hold
be
that
my
thought.
pizza. Okay. Don't trip up over the wires. So, my point is, just go with the high caps.
Not too bad.
Because, alright, you get a bit of a shake when, you know, they're full. Are you going to need my money?
Yeah, I'm going to need your money. You're going to come and pay for it, man.
There you go. So, I understand you get a bit of a shake, but if you're playing like... The last time we were out, we were at SWAT over at Fortress, which is now closed. It was the last game. Good. Class site. The two games were... They were split into two games. They were long, drawn-out games. In my opinion, you need high caps for playing that length of time. You know, granted, it was a semi-only side, but
My God.
yeah, this is well organised and timed.
Yeah, so we
They didn't even receipts. That's legit.
The best pizza place. and
VAT. No,
give
there's
me
no.
a look.
There's no VAT on that.
Ah.
No, there's no VAT on that. I'm not sure if you should probably flash that.
Get rid of that bit. So if you're ever in Accrington, Blackburn or Burnley, check out Santa's Pizza. Really awesome. And they even delivered to the studio, which is good. Although, last time they delivered to the studio, I did make the mistake.
Yeah.
We're fixing guns and we had a big table set up, this table set up.
Continue. Yeah.
But you're just putting pizza box in my face. So we had this gun fixing session going on, which you'll see in this uncut video. For those of you listening to this just as audio, terribly sorry, but there was a video. If you go onto my channel, you'll be able to find it. I think it is CBNPC Uncut Episode 2, Fixing Guns. So we ordered pizza, and I opened the door, completely had a mental lapse of where we were, and the pizza guy was just faced with three guys sat here with guns, and I'm like, alright, yeah, shit, there's guns there. So yeah, and what is really good about the Speedloader as well is it is predominantly built for the M4 platform, or the AR-15 platform, but the guy who makes it is giving away 3D printable sort of instructions for adapters to use it in an AK, MP5, and...
What a boy.
What else were it? It was the G36 AK and MP5 adapters. So it doesn't sound like they're actually going to make the adapters, they're just giving away the instructions
Just
to it.
open sourcing it.
Because he says basically the whole thing, the original concept, pardon me again, was entirely 3D printed. I'm guessing apart from a few springs here and there, but
Yeah.
3D printed design. So he's definitely open sourced it so anybody can just make these adapters, which is really cool.
First meter's flashing.
First meter's flashing. Hashtag Daisy jokes. Get straight on to the main topic. No fanning about now. Urban or woodland?
There's no decision there. It's Woodland.
I knew you were going to say that, you troll. So why do you think woodland is better than urban? And how are you going to justify being wrong? Hashtag burn. What?
Right, for start,
You got some like piece of waste. You got it.
I feel a lot safer running around in the woodland for a start.
Yeah.
Things with urban, you've got a lot of dark spaces, which okay is cool for some combat when it's dark. Most of woodland's pretty well lit, unless you're doing a night game.
We've been there before.
Yep.
We talked about that. I think it was in. I don't know if it was in the first episode, probably the second one. Talking about me and Scott crawling up for ages.
And night games are incredible in woodland. I'm not just sure at all that a night game at an urban site would be safe at all, because I've had accidents in broad daylight.
So, we all have, man. Standing especially. In fact, we'll get onto this in the questions. We'll come up to that in a minute. So, your argument is it's less hazardous to play in the woods.
It's less hazardous to play in the woods, and I've found with most urban sites that I've been to, granted I've only been to 3, it's semi-only. It's okay. That's another safety aspect. You come around a corner and the guy shooting at us right here. If you're that dick, he's going to pull the trigger rather than shout bang or whip out your dildo. Woodland,
I found a video.
you're just going full auto. Yeah, the full auto thing is a big deal to me. I mean, because high cap for life. I think the cover is a lot more interesting than Woodland. If you say, for example, you've got somebody who's spent 800 quid on a ghillie suit, or
If they spent 800 quid on a ghillie suit, they
Or-
probably spent a bit much.
or spent 30 quid making it themselves,
True story. Is that what you were going to say
Yeah.
before I jumped
Yeah.
in there?
Yeah.
Yep, sorry.
well in before.
Yep.
It gives opportunity to make use of things like that. Whereas urban is just, I just find it so much more boring in comparison. As compared with, like, say for example, Parkgate SWAT. There's like 3 of us holding the embassy building against the entire enemy team. You lead on the floor, try not to get shot through the upper windows. You're trying to fucking shoot somebody through the doorway. I just bummed you.
She's back there right away, man.
That's alright. She's in the range, actually.
Shoot her then.
I'm looking at you behind the tree. Right side.
Right side, where? Right there, Tom.
Oh shit, I nearly killed him. He's moving down the hill. Let's get back to the front.
The same thing could be said about porno suites at Area 51. Porno suites were like a Rainbow Six style looking office area. There were me, Des, Alan, Plumber, Scott, Coop. I want to say Jimmy D as well. That's probably the most CBNPC that's been at a game in a long while. But we were all in there, and there were a few other non-Roys. For those who were unfamiliar with the colloquialization, Roy, each member of CBNPC is a Roy. Yeah, Roy.
Yeah, right.
So we were all in there defending this room. We were like the last line. The entire enemy team was at the door coming in. And they could come in. There was only one door they could come in, so it was bottleneck, but there were a lot of cover
Quick
in front
question:
of it.
was it semi or full auto?
Semi. But I'll touch on that in a minute. So they were rushing in and rushing in. We'd slot a couple of them, and then Coop's like way down at the front. Scott runs all the way from the back. He goes, Coop. Coop's like, what? He's
Scott
like,
ran.
yeah, no, but he ran for this reason.
Okay.
He runs all the way to the front. Coop's like, shit, what? He's like, take. Runs all the way back to the back. And I was sat there laughing. About 5 minutes go past, another little firefight. One of the non-Roys gets hit, and then Coop jumps up and just runs back up to me. I'm like, what's up? And he went, take. I'm like, you fuck. That's how it ended up. CQB is so much more fun than Woodland, defending a building.
No, it's not.
Definitely.
It's not.
Anzio. Oh my god. Another site we played at, Anzio.
You know what's coming when? What I'm going to say in response, but carry on.
Is it full auto? Is that your response?
No, it's well. That is a good response to it, but I've got another
Go on, give me-
nostalgia. Hamburger Hill.
Fair point, yeah. We were talking about Hamburger Hill in one of the other episodes.
Hmm?
About a player called the Invisible Man. Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember that guy?
Yeah. Pudding.
Yeah, that's the guy. This is good audio. As
Hey.
well. It's just pring.
Shoot him in the face. All right.
It was his neck that I got him in. That's the story I told in the episode.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure that happened more than once anyway. So might have been his neck once. Well, I'm really confused where we're at now. We've gone off on a sidetrack, and it's hard to kind of keep track of what we've talked about. So you're
We're
very
still doing Woodland versus Urban.
yeah. You're very pro Woodland.
Yes.
But like Anzio defending one of the I don't know what any of the buildings are called in Anzio. I've only been like twice, I think. I don't even think that I can't remember. It's not even important. But one time when I went, this kid just went, "Do you want to lift through this window?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So this kid just basically pushed me through a window, and I was in a building with enemy players on the left and right. I'll put a clip in because I love this bit. I ran up on this guy has a electric Glock, and he pulled it on me, and nothing happened. So I just slot him, and he's like, "What?" Proper swearing his head off. And at first for a second I thought he was swearing at me, but he's like, "Bloody God, I've just bought this. It's shit. Throw it away."
I know that feel.
So I got up on this doorway, and there were just like 3 guys there, and I'm like, "Surrender!" And this guy is like, up to my muzzle, and he's like, yep, definitely, I'll call that. But right in his face, and then his teammates behind didn't surrender. Lit me the fuck up. But defending something in urban is so much more better than defending something in woodland. But there is one woodland defence sort of thing that I liked, which was Parkgate, the embassy.
Mm-hmm.
This was the day that my car got broke into.
Yeah, that sucked.
I had my MP7 with a can on it, so it's like, and that's all you could hear. And like 20 feet away, you couldn't even hear that. Above the embassy, there's this tree that kind of looks like the bridge on Evil Dead. So it just like claws out. I managed to basically crawl on the top, because basically the site is in a bit of a valley, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I got on top of the valley, crawled along, and then down into this tree that's kind of hanging over this embassy building. And I was in this tree at the top. It was quite a bushy tree situation. It wasn't like winter is what I'm getting at, so there were leaves. So I could see down into the embassy, but they couldn't see me and they couldn't hear me because of the MP7.
Mm-hmm.
So Doug
This is pro Woodland.
and Dee were both... Is it called Doug? Yeah, Doug.
Doug, yeah.
Doug and Dee.
Naked Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those two...
Doug, shout out.
Yeah, and Dee. So they were in the embassy, and I was up this tree just watching the door, and every time they came out, like they come out crouched, trying to get some cover, and I just go... slot them one in the head or whatever, and they were like, "I'll just hit," but because it's only going like 250 FPS, I'd like put 2 or 3, and they're like, "Yeah, hit." And this happened about 6 or 7 times. They were like coming out, getting hit, and it ended up they were coming out. So one of them was they were basically facing each other. So one were walking out backwards and one walking out forwards, and they were both watching each other.
Watching for where the round was coming.
And then the round comes in and hits, and then they were like trying to triangulate where the shot came from. So I'd fire and then just stay really still up this tree. And then they finally like clocked me, and he aimed at me and he waved, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll just call it. You don't have to light me up in the tree."
Yeah.
So Gentleman Doug didn't light me up in the tree, but I did actually mention him in a previous podcast because he's the guy who point blanked me in the head. We're on the same team. I won't go over the whole story again, but just to brush on it. I got hit and I was coming out the bottom of the hospital building. Mm-hmm. Didn't shout dead man walking. As I walked out, he was coming in, firing, just like sliced the corner, firing, hit me in the head with his muzzle, then pulled the trigger.
Ow.
Yeah, there's blood. I had to go sit down for a little while. It's bad. But I was saying then, that's probably his secret revenge for the Terminator game, where I was a Terminator. This was full automatic allowed as well.
Did you nail him?
We were walking through one of I think it was the CQB block. Actually, no, it was the officers' mess, where it starts to get dark. Mm-hmm. I was just walking, firing the M249 Para from the hip. Anything that moved, I was just like proper getting into the Terminator roll.
Yeah.
So if we got hit, we just had to power down for 10 seconds. Then we could come back up and carry on firing straight away. So we pushed them back section by section by section. And then they tried to make a run out, and I just lit up this entire corridor on automatic, and Doug ran through it. And he's got a bad knee anyway, and it hit his knee, and he just dropped. And it popped his knee out, apparently. So maybe a point-blank shot in the head was some kind of revenge for that. I can't remember if that happened first, so... I was getting it anyway.
Either way, you're equal. Even.
Yeah. But you were saying about CQB being semi-only.
Yeah.
We've played a lot of full automatic indoor games, and it bottlenecks so easily. Yeah. You get 4 guys with high caps on a corridor. Nobody can move down that corridor.
Yeah. Which is why CQB sucks, because you should be able to use auto and it still be interesting.
Not always. I mean, it depends. It depends a lot on the site. Site and camp, for instance, full auto is allowed sometimes.
Yeah, usually outside.
There was a lot of different ways around that site. If you got bottlenecked coming into the CQB block, you could come out and go into another area and try and take them from behind.
Giggity.
Oh yeah. But that was the problem with some of the areas at Area 51. Like the latest video I put up, the Throwback Thursday video, it's basically just bottleneck after bottleneck after bottleneck, and you can see me getting more and more frustrated, just running up short. Yep. But I think automatic on that wouldn't have helped. Or it might have if we had a support gunner. There's one part where we're trying to fight our way up some stairs, and there's literally no other way to get up there. If we had a support gunner just laying fire up there, somebody could have moved up and then popped a grenade onto the top of the stairs. I don't know. Even in games where automatic's allowed, I generally just still play semi anyway.
Okay.
Unless I'm using my saw. But you can tell I'm definitely pro buildings and urban.
You're scared of getting dirty, aren't you?
I'm not bothered about getting dirty, man. I still like muddy and wet shit. Like Area 51, the hangar 18 or hangar whatever the hangar area was called. I jumped over the kitchen thing. This is where I knocked myself out that time. Just ended up in a lot of slimy, gunky, slimy water stuff. Just got back up and carried on. I'm not going to back in there.
Probably mush asbestos.
Probably, maybe. Tasted good. We'll talk about that in another one because one of the topics was going to be worst airsoft injuries.
Nice.
So we'll touch on that another time. So yeah, I think like we are dragging this topic on for like 3 hours.
Yeah, this is getting ridiculous.
I'm pro urban. He's pro woodland. What are your thoughts? That's
Again, you know what to do.
yeah, leave it in the comments, man. But woodland is, I don't know, man. I do enjoy woodland maybe once or twice a year
Wow. Okay.
because I started out when I first started airsoft. All the way were woodland sites. There were
Right.
no.
Let's move on because we are getting well stuck on this subject.
All right. So I'm going to go into some questions.
Nothing about.
It's in a different document file. I see I was supposed to print these out, so it was just going to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
So the first question that I wanted to cover, everybody who comes on, I'm going to ask this question. What got you into airsoft? And you've got pizza in your beard.
What got me into airsoft?
Yeah, man.
I started hanging around with the Roys and getting really drunk. My first experience, I'm not even sure how I should be saying this because this could be quite incriminating.
Is this like when you were kids playing in some public woods or some shit?
No.
No.
My first experience of anything reasonably related to airsoft, I think,
I think I know exactly where you're going to go with this.
was
Caravan?
Caravan. I was getting pretty drunk with the Roys in your caravan whilst we were making homemade pyros.
Basically, the site that we were playing at the time allowed us to make our own pyros.
Mm-hmm.
It was a completely ridiculous idea.
It was a stupid rule.
Basically,
Especially with idiots like us.
we used cross scarers, little cardboard seedling tubs, fill them with talcum powder, BBs, and then just put duct tape over the top.
Except the more drunk we got, the more creative we got with the contents.
Pizza crusts,
Pizza
bit of
crusts,
all sorts of random
some-
shit.
Bottle caps, some old jacks.
It got ridiculous.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say that is probably what got me into airsoft because I wanted to use these things in the field. I wanted to be getting shot at and throw something at someone that's gonna hurt them
In a nice way.
in a nice way.
That kind of sadomasochistic way? No.
That's what got me into airsoft.
All right.
Making explosives in your caravan. We would not
Sweet.
get away with that now.
We might do as long as nobody saw it.
Yeah.
We could try it. There's the caravan's gone. That thing fell apart. But there's a Mark 1 transit camper van there now where that lived.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, anyway, before we get stuck on that, shall I tell you what got me into airsoft?
Yeah.
I'll answer the question as well. So probably about 1998. So I'll
Dude, you don't want to know how old I was then.
You were twinkling your mum's eye sort of thing.
I was a twitch in my daddy's scrot.
That's the one. So me and a few mates at school wanted to go paintballing for my birthday. We didn't know any paintball sites around here. None of our parents were like, this is a good idea. They're like, why don't you go Laser Quest? We're like, Laser Quest for gays. Again, not the good kind of gays.
Not the good kind of gays that like dicks and
balls.
balls.
The fun kind.
Yeah.
So they were like, no, why don't you do some Laser Quest or something? Or do this, do that. And I'm like, well, we want to go paintballing. And they're like, right, if you can find a paintball site within X amount of miles from here, you can go to it. I'm like, sweet. So I was ringing up all the paintball sites. There's basically the one that I used to work at, Outdoor Action Paintball.
Mm-hmm.
There was that one. But you needed, basically, it was like you had to take an entire group with you.
Yeah.
And there were only
It needed to be worth it for them financially.
Yeah. So we couldn't get enough people sort of who we could take with us. And long story short, we ended up not doing any paintballing for my birthday.
Yep.
And then the next year, I'm like, last year we tried to go paintballing. Let's do it. Let's actually do it this year. Let's do it. So my mum gave me the same thing. If you can find a site within like 45 minutes drive of here, I'll take you and you can go paintballing.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me. So same site was there again, but we couldn't get enough people to go to make it worthwhile. and I started looking for other sites. I rang all the ones in the yellow pages. They're all either too far away or wouldn't entertain just 5 guys wanting to go on a birthday paintball session. And I went and got a gun mark from W.H. Smith, or as I believe it was called, John Menzies back then.
Wow.
It might have actually been W.H. Smith then.
Yeah, it will have been W.H. Smith back in 98.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So, looking through Gunmart, I was looking for paintball sites, and I stumbled across this picture of a Tokyo Marui Steyr.
And you were like,
And I'm like, what? And my mate, and Evie was there, who stood there, was like, what is that? I'm like, I don't know. And it was actually a review of, I believe it was Wolf Armory's, I think they had a store, I think they probably still do. And it was showing all their guns on the walls and stuff, and it was an airsoft section. It was only about 8 pages long, this airsoft section. We're like looking through, and there was a review of a site, like somebody had been to a site and played, and it showed like in-game, like black and white, really crap pictures of somebody like shooting somebody with a FAMAS or whatever. And we're like, fuck paintball, look at this. And we're like, immediately ringing up all the paintball sites going, do you do airsoft? Do you do airsoft? Do you do it? Not one of them would do it. One site said, if you can get 40 players to come and play airsoft, we'll run an airsoft day.
right.
We didn't know anybody back then. So we're trying, and then I found, but we couldn't find anything for that entire year. We went into Target Techniques, which is a store which is literally 200 meters from where we're sat right now. It's down that way, isn't it? But it's gone now. It's closed down. And they had spring.
Oh, shit, yeah. Sorry, that took me a minute for that to drop. Yeah.
Target
Sorry,
Techniques. They had.
Right back of Iceland, there, over there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's basically just on Wally Road still. It's still Wally Road. So it's only like 30 buildings down from us, but across the main road. So we went in. We were walking back from school. Me and Ev walked past the window, and there was basically a Smith & Wesson M645 in the window, and it said £6 or 3 for 15. And we're like, they're airsoft guns. So we went in, and we immediately got asked to leave because we were under 18. But we're like, this what is it? I were like, what's this in the window? This £6 or 3, and he's like, oh, they're broken airsoft guns. Oh, he called them soft air, didn't he, Richard? It's like broken soft air guns. Like, how are they broken? He went, oh, they're just customer returns that have been broken. So, just great for films or whatever. I'm like, all right, are they fixable? He's like, probably not. So like, all right. So I went home. Mum, will you take me down to Target Technics to buy this gun? Straight away, she's like, no. Told her about it, and she went, all right, you can have a toy gun. So took me down, and my mate Hendy came with me, and we both bought a £6 Smith & Wesson M645. Went home, and he found out that my one worked and switched them, so he had an actual working one. He told me years later that he'd switched it because his dad had a Spring P226, so we both played with that, and we actually fixed my M645 as well, which took ages and lots of like bodging with glue and stuff, and so we got them working. So we had like swimming goggles, spring awards in the back garden, and this sort of carried on for a couple of years until we'd basically cleared out all the broken airsoft guns from Target Technics and fixed them all. And we're selling them to like friends at school and shit as well, like arms dealers. It's ridiculous. Then it got to the point where we were like, these backyard games aren't cutting it. We actually need to find a site. So we'd finished school by this point, or we're in college. And I found a website called airsoft.org, which is long since gone. It was bought by an American retailer at one point. I don't know if it's even still up. But back then it's basically the Airsoft forums. Yeah. We affectionately name it now as Old Blue, those of us who remember it, because it was really bright blue. And found on there that there was an airsoft site in Sheffield, Strines, called Ambush. And they had a airsoft chat room on IRC. I don't know.
IRC? Is that even running still?
I have no idea. So we used to go on this hashtag airsoft chat room, and we talked, and I would run there every night. Basically, they were running the first airsoft game there. We missed the first one, but went to the second one, which was like in 2000, something like that. Yeah. And oh god, man, we talked to us. We were like Team Matrix back then. There were like 6 of us or something, all like 16 years old, with like 2 AEGs between a lot of us, a shitload of spring guns, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna come up there and we're the biggest team in the Northwest at the time. We're called Zulu Troop. talked about him previously in one of the other episodes. So we talked ourselves up like we were an absolute pro team.
I like where this is going.
And then we got to the site and got our asses handed to us. It was incredible. I've actually got a scar just there from the first time I was shot in the first game at Ambush. So the story, basically, we were fighting through this thing that was just basically like a long path.
Yeah.
We had to fight up the path. And they were like, we're pushing them back and pushing them
It
back.
wasn't the ambush that I went to, was it, with the tanks and stuff?
No, that was the second ambush
Okay,
site.
so
They
carry on.
moved. That's Budbee. That's now Skirmish Airsoft. So we were pushing up this path, and we'd ended up off into the woods, like off from the path, I believe to the left of it. And the marshal, we hadn't really pushed very far. We're essentially pinned down. And the marshal had said, 2 minutes remaining, come on. Great, we were grey team, I think. Grey and blue were the colours. Like, make your last push, come on, you can do this, you can do this. You've only got 100 metres to push. And we're like, fuck, come on, we can do this. So I like turn around to Ev and Cooper, I'm like, come on guys, we can do this, we've got it. So on me, so all three of us stood up, and we were behind this like berm. And we got up and started firing, like lighting up like some kind of heroic thing. In my memory, when I look back, it's all going in slow motion, there's explosions and stuff. But, so I stood up to fire and I started firing. But one of the Zulu guys was a sniper.
Yeah. And he was just like, oh, this is Christmas.
No. He was a lot closer than we thought, because at the same time we got up, he got up. He was going to bug out. But then he saw somebody past us and went to fire. And I stood up directly in front of him. I was only about 10 feet away from him.
Ow.
The round went in. You can still see like the scar there, that tiny little white dot. It's like 16 years old, that scar now. But it hit and I was like, oh, fuck. Middle of September. Like, it's fucking well. So we took off, got back to... I called myself out on that because that was the most painful time I'd ever been shot at that point. And at the briefing for the next game, I'm like squeezing my hand because we're like bleeding like fuck. And Ev's watching, I'm like, bloop, and this little grey BB just pops out of my hand.
Wow.
And I'm like, did you see that? It was in my hand. And that was like my basic introduction to Airsoft.
Decent.
Yeah. That I could have just said that in like 2 seconds, really.
It's fine.
Yeah, man.
Overshadowed my caravan antics.
So at what point did you get the P90?
I can't remember. I think it was even like pre-Yukara, so I was just like...
It was way pre.
Yeah.
Yukara was like 2007.
I was working full-time at the time. I was 16, so I was just like...
I remember them days.
Yeah. So, yeah, got the P90. Then they came with those mid-cap mags.
They were low caps, like 60.
Low caps.
Marie come with low caps as standard.
They?
Yeah.
Okay, so low caps are even worse. So I was like, right, I need a box mag here. So I got out this fucking box mag, which holds a ridiculous amount of rounds as it is. But the box mag, I'm sure they probably still do them. You could stick an M4 mag into it as well and keep feeding. And
Basically, that's how you wound it, isn't it?
yeah, you just wound it and it just keep feeding.
It's like a big internal reservoir that sat where the P90 magazine used to be.
Yeah.
And then it kind of almost made
Just
it like some
some-
kind of space FAMAS
Yeah.
sort of thing. Like an F2000 or something.
The thing went from being a CQB weapon to a fucking support gun.
These are all... I'm wearing the same pants I wear the first podcast. These are all falling out of my pocket. Business cards.
Oh.
That's been balls deep and covered a few heartwarming tales there and other shenaniga.
Before we cut this, I want to see you eat this chili, seeds and all, crunchy.
Hell, dude. You know, I can't even eat...
No, that's exactly what I'm giving it you.
At least let me do the sign off first.
Okay. Crunch the seeds.
I am doing... Oh my god, that is horrible. Oh my god.
For the record, this guy just has margarita pizza because he's soft. Dude, you alright?
Not at all.
No. Have a swig, you drink.
What the fuck was that?
It was a jalapeno.
Jalapeno. Oh, I can't
Jalapeno.
I'm dribbling. Look at my eyes, man.
Focus.
This has been balls deep. I'm Magaz.
I'm Elliot.
If you got any questions or anything, Leave them in the comments. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.
Come on, you gotta say it.
Yeah, maybe soft.
But our balls are hard.
Thanks. Oh, God, damn it. This is the back of my throat and everything. You mean another one? No, I don't.
There's not as many seeds in that one.
Hang on, that is horrible.
Yeah,
Have you eaten an entire pizza with them on? Oh, God, I can't even see now. I don't want to rub my eyes because I've got it all in my hands. Look, I'm proper crying.
Dude, I have those on like sandwiches.
You just said cheers.
We were going to look at guns and everything tonight.
Oh,
and
God. Yeah. Fuck me. I think you should just subscribe just for that torture I just did. Jesus Christ, I cannot breathe now. That's cleared my nose out, something rotten.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, why would I... The first episode... Dude, the first episode of the podcast, she all the way through it, because I just eaten a Pascal special and it was the hottest one I'd ever had. And that, I felt the same then after that.
Yeah.
God
Did
damn
you
it.
do a little cry and everything as well?
Not that bad.
No.
No. Anyway,